Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to this afternoon's Spotlight. For those of you who have just joined, my name is Danielle Lenardi. I'm a musician and the executive director of 918 Bathurst in Toronto. It's a wonderful little cultural hub in the middle of the city. And it's a real pleasure to introduce this artist to you. We had a fantastic conversation offline, and I'm very excited to share what we discussed between the two of us with you all. Amir Amiri of PERSEIDES, welcome to you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And also welcome to his agent, Barbara Scales of Latitude 45 Arts. Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Daniela. Great to be here. Thanks.
So before we jump into our conversation, we're going to show a couple of videos. And Amir, why don't you talk a little about the videos and what we're about to see?
Well, the first video it is called La Danse. It's a piece of the Perseid that we have recorded a while back. And the second video is a duet that I do with the Moody Amiri as a combination of viola and santur. And we can talk about it in details when we come back.
Fantastic. All right. Why don't we play the videos?
3, 2.
And we're back. Amir, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely
Thank you.
beautiful. Stunning. You just create this dream world with
Thank
your
you.
music.
Thank you.
I'd like to talk about you before we talk about music, because what's I find great about these particular showcases is that we get to talk to you, the artist, and we get to find out what you're about. So tell us who you are, Amir.
Contrary to the belief, I'm a human. I eat. I have needs. Yeah. Well, I am. I came from Iran. I'm Iranian-born musician. I made Canada my home about 25, 26 years ago. Came straight to the Banff Center, and making music and trying to understand human concepts and situations has been my thing. I use music as a sort of application to life for my life. You know, I think that art needs to be applied. These ideas that we have, the music gives us about order, harmony, you know, existence next to each other, a very similar, this order that happens in the universe, and the musical order. They're actually stunningly close together. It's astonishing how these things are follow the same patterns. And so I saw that, I realized that, and I have moved around Canada a lot. Currently, for past 6-7 years, I've been living in Montreal. I love it, but I also lived in Alberta, Manitoba, BC. Just been trying to find where I can put my feet on the ground, and here I am. Yeah, this is a little bit of things about me.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So tell us about the Santoor, because it's just such an evocative, beautiful instrument.
Santoor is we can think about it simply as a grandfather to the piano. At first, in the beginning, it was Santoor, you know, Even it says in Bible. I'm joking. In the beginning, there was santur. So santur is the beginning. Is a trapezoid instrument. Has 72 string Iranian santur. It goes back to about our Sumerian times, and you can actually see on the Takht Jamshid photos, there are these men with beards, and they playing these kind of a harp-shaped thing hanging around their necks, and would play the sticks about 2,500 years ago. And this transformed itself as it traveled through the world, through the earth, in basically becoming qanun in Arab world, and santur, another form of it in India, and going to Europe, gypsies became cymbalon, and then we have it in America or English world as a hammer dulcimer. In China, there is a version of it practically the same. You look at it, it's like, oh yeah, I see this. It's called yangjin, and then gujang. So you see, because it seems like many cultures, there is a place for santur somewhere. Just like a piano, in Western music, it's pretty substantial, this instrument. Mm-hmm. I think in most other music, especially like, for example, in Persian music, it's one of the principal instruments. And because it's rhythm based, so it's a percussive instrument. Do you know that piano is a percussive instrument? Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So same thing. It's a percussive instrument with pitches. So you can do so many things with it. It covers a lot of ground. And for my own journey, I realized Eastern music, Persian music, in its core has improvisation set in it. Like, it's very improvisatory music. You learn things for 12 years and you study and do many things, but essentially you're memorizing and you're learning how to give this you're basically completing your memory bank, your melodic memory bank, let's call it. And so then you use this melody bank. When they say you need to have 10,000 words to be able to speak, in the musical sense, improvisation is a sort of speaking, and the context is the key signature or a time signature. This is how we can apply the music here. And so when we have in Persian classical music, you have this improvisation and being in the moment you express yourself, and the context of speaking, this improvisation, is the time signature and the scale. And the key signature, and then things happen. You have this thing. So we can see this in the Western music, and in jazz we can see the same situation, that you have a context and you express yourself. So to describe my music is about that. I always look for a context in which there's going to be some exchange of musical ideas, just like you're speaking.
Which leads me to your music and your collaborations. Mm-hmm. And particularly, let's talk about Perseid, though. Can you tell us about the music and the project and the ideas?
Perseid, I met Jean-Félix Maillot about 4 or 5 years ago through, in fact, Facebook. And I saw that he was doing stuff. I checked him out, and it was, oh, wow, he's really interesting with his improvisational ideas. And I asked to go to meet him. I went to his house, and at the time he was recording an album for somebody else in his basement, in his studio. He had a basement studio, and we got to play together. And as I was playing with him, it just became very easy. It was super easy. And then, it's like, oh yeah, it was like a long lost friend, or a friend you keep talking to for a long time, and then for a long time you don't talk to, and then you come back and you see each other and you pick up from where you left off. It was like that. And he had this idea, goes, hey, you know, there are all these microphones are here. Let's just, you know, record something. And I said, okay, so let's do it. I tuned and we did some recordings there. And this is our first meeting. And a couple of the first tracks on our CD that we recorded in 2017, I think, it's from that first meeting. So, you know, it was, and then things grew from there, and here we are today, you know.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes left, so I wanted to get a chance for Barbara to jump in the conversation, and to tell your side of the story as an agent.
As an agent. Well, I think I first heard Amir when he was in Montreal playing at the Festival de Musique du Monde Arabe about 6 or 7 years ago. I think it was before you actually moved to Montreal. You were still living in Toronto. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, this is an amazing music maker. But what do I do with this? And, you know, as an agent, you don't want to just jump into something. You want to have an idea of being able to be actually helpful. So anyway, over time, we did start to work together. One of the things that impresses me most about Amir is that, you know, he says making music is, and improvisation is like a conversation, I think. And it's, he's a person who walks into a room and he can talk to people, and there's warmth and there's intelligence and there's insight, and he's picking up as much as he's giving all the time. And so it's always a joy to see him speaking to people, meeting people, and sitting down and making music with people. And, you know, sometimes it makes me crazy, because every time I talk about, oh, I met this fantastic musician, or I was in Paris and I met these 3 people and we just made this tape. Here's the tape. I'll send it to you. Right. And I, you know, it doesn't seem to, he never is sort of able to turn that off. And so it just keeps coming. And I was so impressed, because many of the sessions this morning in the festival, people talking about the festivals across Asia, we're talking about this idea of collaboration and people meeting, and even on site. Junkin was talking about this, Junlin rather, in the Rainforest Festival, and others were also. Right. This is the perfect kind of thing for Amir. He is a great convener and also a great leader, as he led the celebration in 2017 of Persian music masters at the National Arts Centre for the 150th anniversary of Canada. And he was asked to be the director, the leader, the conductor, and solve all the ego issues also, if I may say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. To find out more and to get some more information, can you tell us some links, some emails, some contact information? Latitude45arts.com.
Go to see Amir Amiri's page on our site, or go to Amir Amiri. You can find him on Facebook and on YouTube, and his own page, not YouTube. Anyway, you can find, there aren't a million Amir Amiris, AMIRAMIRI.
Fantastic.
Yeah, latitude45arts.com.
Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
And Amir, any parting words briefly, as we have a minute left?
Well, I mean, I'm so happy to be part of this. Thank you to the Global Toronto to making this gathering and helping us to come out of our shells once again and try to go back to the normality. Really appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would agree. I mean, we were just chatting a little earlier offline about how this conference has been a breath of air, you know, to reinvigorate us and motivate us and inspire us to continue to do what we do, because what we do is very much needed. So thank you to Barbara. Thank you, Amir.
Thank you.
It was great to meet you.
Thank you so much,
to listen
Daniela.
to your music. Yes. And we shall see you again soon.